ندرت پیش می آید که وارد یک بحث جدی بشویم و نام زنانی که در آنجا ملاقات کردیم به میان نیاید. این ایده که قرار باشد کشوری که توسط تئوری مذهبی دیوانه‌واری اداره شده و بیشتر برای آسیب رساندن به زنان طراحی شده است، توسط زنی با ذکاوت، توانا، شجاع و بردبار اداره شود، تمام خاورمیانه را تغییر خواهد داد.
Madam Rajvi, it's a great honor to be with you and your remarkable staff and supporters and the people who work with you. But mostly, it's very, very moving to see the people of Ashraf. I've treasured my memories of being there, and I can't wait to get back. So if you see me going this way and that way, it's because I want to talk to you. And you look wonderful. Look at you. Oh, my goodness. And there's so many of you, and you look so spirited and so energetic and so optimistic. And you're going through a very, very difficult time. Maybe the most difficult of, well, maybe not, when you consider the recitations we just heard of what was done to your families and what's been done to you. Maybe this isn't the most difficult. But it's fraught with a lot of hope and then a lot of uncertainty, and that's always difficult. For the last 47 years, there's been no greater outrage in the world than the regime of terror, which is what I call it. It's hard to think of a regime that has killed more of its own people than the two Ayatollahs and who almost come together as just one horrible Hitler. And their atrocities and their acts of inhumanity are equivalent. Numbers at a level like that don't really mean much. When you get beyond killing 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 30,000 people, I don't know, it doesn't matter anymore. I prosecuted a prison camp commander years ago when I was very, very, very young. I don't even think we had cars then. I don't think so. Yeah, we probably had cars. We certainly didn't have computers. But he was a commander of a concentration camp. And the proof was that he killed about 20,000 people, about 10,000 Jewish people and about 10,000 of others, Orthodox Christians and people who opposed Hitler. And he wasn't German, if I recall correctly, he was Estonian. And he wanted to prove his worth to the Nazi overlords. So he killed 20,000, that was the proof that we had. And during the trial, he tried to make the point, his lawyer did, that he really exaggerated the number of people he killed because he wanted to be put into the SS and promoted. He had actually killed only 12,000. And the judge looked at him and said, that really matters? I mean, you killed 12,000 and you exaggerated it to 20? And it's hard. And I prosecuted another commander of another concentration camp in Latvia, two of them. And I read through all the records in order to do that. And it took me about a day to recover from reading the records. If you look back at the last 47 years of what the Iranian people have to go through, the irony of it is one of the people that is trying to position himself to take over Iran, having done nothing to help free Iran, is the scion, the descendant of the two people who really led to over 100 years of torture in Iran. To me, it's It's outrageous that he's even presenting himself. And it's even more outrageous that some portion of the international media just ignore it. Generally, we have a view in America, you probably do too, that you don't condemn the son for the sins of the father. Now, it's a little different in his case. The only reason he has any standing to ask for this position is because of his father. It'd be one thing if he were a man of his own accomplishment, if he had built a great, wonderful business that was helping people, or he saved people, or maybe, like some people do, he was guilty for the sins of his father and tried to make compensation for that. There are people like that. I know people like that. Instead, he wants to have the position, never had a job, never did any work. As far as I can tell, he supported himself with the money stolen from the Iranian people. I mean, people starving in Iran can say, geez, he lived the life of a multi-billionaire jet setter off the money that his father and mother and grandfather stole from Iran. And what they did, really, without going through the whole history, which you know, chapter and verse, they sold Iran out for oil to Great Britain. If Iran wasn't being sold out for oil, Iran might have had a democracy back in 1918, 1919, certainly in 1953. And the only reason they were sold out was so that Britain could steal the oil that belongs to the Iranian people. There's a period of time in which Britain was getting 80% of the profits. Iran was getting 20%. And then Britain was charging a tax on the 20%. And Iran was actually paying Britain to take their oil. Except there was a big kickback to the Pahlavi family, which is a made-up name. Their real name was something else, and they were killers in the Cossack armies. And the first one was selected because he was the best killer in the Cossack army. I don't want to spend a lot of time on him, not very much. I really don't think it's realistic anymore. I think that people have, particularly some of the media people that were promoting him, I'm not going to say they're embarrassed. They're never embarrassed about the lies they tell. But I think they realize that they've been caught and that this is a terrible, terrible mistake. The tragedy of it is, maybe we'll never know this, maybe we will. Once we get control, maybe get all the records. I have a suspicion as a former prosecutor that the regime is using him to try and reduce the enthusiasm for the revolution. Because unless you're part of the MEK, NCRI, or the people that are related to you, and they're very, very strong about this, right? Most people are going to be back and forth, back and forth. Those are the people you have to get, right? They can't stand what they're living under, but they're very afraid. Most people don't have the courage that those two people have, or the 6 people we saw stand there and laugh at death. That's what they were doing. They were laughing at death. They were basically saying, they knew they were going to be killed, and they were basically saying, no, what we believe in is more important. And we believe it so strongly, you can't harm us. You can take our life away, but you can't take our belief away. And that really represents all of those people in Ashraf, which is why